What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to Bolts and Brews. We're going to show you how to set up an electrolysis tank so that you can save money on parts that you would have initially bought new ones of because they're too rusty. You can save money on it by just dipping it in some your solution and fix it by using science.
Science rules.
So this is going to be our test subject for the day. This is a rear shock mount that sits like this. Rear axle is coming across. U-bolts go through these holes and the shock mount's here. So I'm going to reuse this, but I don't want it to be rusty as all hell, and I like it to be nice and shiny, so that's what we're going to use this for. So this will be the test subject. First, you want to get yourself a tub of some sort, plastic, washing soda. It's sodium carbonate. You don't want to get anything. I know there's like borax out there, that's sodium tricarbonate. No baking soda, none of that crap. It has to be sodium carbonate, washing soda. This exact one right there. And then you're going to want to get yourself 4 pieces of rebar from your hardware store that sticks out of the top, so you have room to make connections and all that stuff. Some wire. This wire is to hang your parts into the water. Smaller pieces of wire that you can connect to each rebar in the corners. And then you want wire that you can run on the outside to each of those little pieces of wire. And then a drill and a piece of wood that you can put across the top to hang your part from and whatnot. You want to drill 2 holes in each corner so that you can attach your rebar and keep them in place. The ideal wire for this would be like copper wire, but I didn't have any, so I robbed this from parts of my fence that I didn't need. You know, you gotta make things work. So in each corner, I just want to put 2 holes. You got your holes drilled, and you take the rebar, put it in one of the corners, and have it set in the middle of the holes that you drilled. And you take one of your pieces of wire, bend it, so that you can get it through those holes. So you just carry that on for all the corners. I'm sure you guys don't want to see that, so when you do this, when you actually get it to work, do it outside, because it produces gases off the top, because you'll see it start bubbling and stuff. It produces gases, and you don't want to do it inside, because if you, let's say you go in and you light a blowtorch to get a nut off or something, you could blow your garage up. And that's real talk.
I did not know that about this experiment.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So that's not me just talking crap, that's like real.
So if you smoke, I suggest you don't light a cigarette.
Now, what you have to do is take a wire, run it from one side, here, all the way around to each of these connections, or the twists, but don't connect it all the way because it's not going to work. So you just want to power these, and you don't want to create a full circuit. So start here, end here, don't connect them. So then when you get to each corner, like he's going to do, he's going to strip the center section of the wire without cutting the wire, so we can have down to bare wire in the middle, or not in the middle.
I'm taking the insulation off at the corner where we want to attach it to the rebar, leaving it all connected, so we have one continuous wire going all the way around instead of having multiple different connections where you have different weak points. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. my brain wasn't working. And you want to make sure that it's taut all the way around so there's not any type of loose connections. Twist them up. What is that from?
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob? That's what I was going to say.
Fingers out of my shoes.
Cut to the footage.
Are you sure you know how to do it?
Patrick, please.
Now what we got to do is some water. So you want to fill it up to like maybe an inch or two to where these connections come through at, because you don't want those sitting in the water. Just for safety purposes, I guess. I mean, it's all like, I don't know. The current's gonna be all over the place. So just do what I say. Well, the reason for it is because you're normally supposed to use copper wire, and if the copper wire was in the water, it would turn green and get nasty, and you'd have to change it out. So that's why.
Like the Statue of Liberty.
Yes.
Yes.
Then you crack open the washing soda. So you're supposed to put, it's a tablespoon per gallon. Yeah, I'm not gonna measure it.
Just gonna use your hypotenuse.
Hypotenuse? What?
Hypothesis.
Oh. So what this does, it's like it's pretty much an electrolyte for the water. It makes it more conductive. I think that should be good.
Like Gatorade?
Yeah, so it makes, I think it's electrolyte. I don't know. Whatever the scientific word is for it. It just makes the water more conductive. You just want to stir it up, get all of the pieces in there, or any chunks that are in there, stirred up. And then you're going to take your plank of wood. It's going to be set across so that you can dangle your part in it. You're going to take your part that you're going to want, that you want to clean. Take your wire, get it hung, and then you're going to want to dip it in, and you want it to be fully submerged into the solution. And then you take your wire and you just twist it and get it to stay where you want it to stay. And you don't want it to touch the bottom either, so that's why you have as big of a container as we have. So it's fully submerged in there. Then you take your battery charger and make sure it's not plugged in when you hook up the terminals. Take the negative terminal and put it on your part, and you take positive and put it on one of the rebar. And then you take power, and you put them together. And you want to put the battery charger and everything as far away from the tub as possible, so that in case it spills over or anything like that, you don't kill yourself.
Get out of here. It actually works.
Yes.
Yes.
So he's all shocked that I actually knew what I was talking about.
That's good job.
So pretty much, if it works, you're gonna see bubbles. I don't know if you can see the bubbles in there, right there. They start bubbling up, and that is what I was talking about, the gas. What's coming off of those bubbles is gas. Don't really know what type of gas, but
It's hydrogen.
there you go.
I remember doing a science experiment in high school where we were running electricity through water, and you pull the tube out of the water because we were catching the gas, and you can literally light it on fire.
Yeah.
That's
That's exactly what he just said. That's why you want this set outside like we have it.
well ventilated.
And yeah. Or if your only choice is to have it in a garage, you want fans running.
Yeah.
So as you can see, we put it together and it's working. Just a little recap. Negative goes on the part, positive goes on the rebar. And the reason for that is electrical current travels from negative to positive. So we're gonna let this sit for, I think you're supposed to do it for like 12 hours or so. When the part's clean, we'll pull it out and show it to you guys. There's a guy I know who did this. His channel is called Bleepin' Jeepin'. He actually takes a hinge that had a spring and everything in it that's completely seized up. Dunked it in that, took it out about a day later, and the spring and everything, all the functionality came back. So this is great for anything.
Yeah.
So here it is after the soak, and that's the other side before. I think it definitely looks a little bit better, but I think the problem that we're running into is that this battery charger is an automatic 6 amp, which means that if it doesn't require 6 amps, it'll push less. So it was pushing less than 2 amps the entire time, and you're supposed to have a battery charger that you can actually flip to set how many amps you want it to push, like no matter what. And you're supposed to have a lot more voltage or amperage running through it, and ours obviously didn't push that much.
I had a genius idea. Gage's truck battery over here is constantly dead. He says he has to hook up the battery charger to get it running every time. So what I thought, since that's an automatic battery charger, hooking that up to the battery, because it's going to realize how dead it is, and then jumping that from the battery to electrolysis so we have more amperage.
Like we said before, we think we weren't getting enough amperage, so we'll pull the battery out, set it on the floor, hook the battery charger up to it, then hook jumper cables up from the battery to the electrolysis tank, and hopefully that'll work. Since the battery charger is charging the battery, it should charge it up to 12 volts and constantly be charging it, and then the battery should be sending its 12 volts over here. We could blow the place up, but who knows? We'll see. So we got it working again, bubbling, and it's at about 5 amps, which I don't know if that's where it needs to be, but it's a lot better than what it was before. Sorry that this video is taking like 3 days to make, but we want to get the best results possible for you guys. So we will catch you probably in about another 24 hours, and we'll show you the results.
Yeah, so not only is it a 3-day video, it's going to be a 4-day video.
Well, for all you guys care, it was only like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's the next day. Look at this. There's like no rust left on it. I mean, obviously I'll have to get in there with the sanding block and get the rust off, but there is literally no rust on this anymore. It is insane. And all I'd have to do is get in here with like a polisher or something if I wanted it to shine like normal metal, like that, actually being rubbed down to bare metal. But I don't know if I need to. I mean, it looks pretty good to me. So just wanted to give you guys an update on that. In a quick comparison, this is what it looks like now, and I've got the other one right here. That's what it used to look like. So that is a huge improvement, and we were definitely right yesterday in saying that it did not have enough amperage. So since we did the whole battery trick to get it to send more amperage over to the water, it definitely worked a lot better.
Alright guys, as you saw the results, shit works. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell us how we did, and we'll see you in the next video.
Ah!